How's life cooking with joy? Yeah, I felt today to have a bit of a cooking marathon, and I thought, why not share it with you? I have stuff for like 2 different dishes, kind of here. Probably making 2 episodes, but we'll see how long each of them takes me. So I have pre-washed some root veggies. Yeah, so I will cook these with white beans. Yeah, they're pre-cooked. I pre-cooked them and just store them in a jar. So I'm gonna make this. But first, so I'm going to find a place to put this somewhere in this tiny kitchen, so I don't trip over it. First thing I'm going to make is applesauce. So I have a bunch of apples that I picked up at a farm last weekend. They had like, yeah, you can. So there was a kind of a harvest festival on that farm, and they had a lot of apple trees, and apple trees of the kind where you can just pick your own fruit. And there were a lot of fallen apples, and if there are apples fallen from trees, I will pick them up. And yeah, so there's lots of like this has a worm in it, and they're kind of not very pretty. But the great thing with these to make is applesauce. Basically, chop them up, cook them, and then puree them, and so you get the greatest applesauce. And homemade applesauce that you can then use for anything that you would usually use applesauce for. So, step the first. Sorry, I'm a bit not quite present, I think. Maybe I need to do some meditation first. Also, there's a fly buzzing around here, pretty big one. So if he comes by at some point, just ignore him. Okay, let's see how much of these apples I can use. And I'll have this like really big saucepan. It's pretty heavy. It's the kind that Sam would use, like, I'm getting the hang of it. And that's what it feels like anyway. So, chopping apples. And this is the boring stuff. I might actually speed this up in the editing. We'll see. Now with apples, I have found that when you cook apples, they can take forever. So you can't really see me chopping apples. Yeah, I'm cutting my head off, but at least you can see. So I'm like cutting them into, they don't have to be pretty, they're going to be cooked and pureed anyway. So, but yeah, make them like confetti size. Makes them cook faster. So there's some kind of not so nice parts on that apple, not so nice parts on that apple. Chop it off. Shoo! Sorry, that's the doorbell. I think that's for my sink. Back again. I just had my landlord come in to clean up my sink because it had stopped like draining basically entirely, and so he just came with like the and clean it, and then now it's free again. The blockage was removed. So actually this is I realized, so this is like the third place where I'm living entirely on my own. I don't have a flatmate, I don't have housemates. First time was while I was at university, had a tiny flat or room for myself, and my first flat after I came back from New Zealand last time, and now this, and every single place had a blocked drain at some point or other. And yeah, I mean, obviously this is telling me something. I've been sitting with that, contemplating that. So there's been, drainage, something is blocked, something can't, yeah, and you already noticed where I'm kind of holding my hand. Something isn't moving. And from the inquiry that's going on for me at the moment anyway, there is a sense there is a blockage on the sacral, on the sacral chakra. There's on the emotional plane, water, it can't drain, but it connects into the base chakra. Don't ask me how I know this. There's just a knowing, a feeling, sense that that makes sense. And it's quite interesting, because if you ask me, so what the blockage is, I have no idea. Well, that isn't quite true, but I don't actually really know. It's more a possibility relating to first incarnation as star soul, completely unprepared for the density on this planet. Physicality, probably, very likely, now that I'm speaking about it, is probably also something about experiencing childbirth. Yeah, there's something about the womb, a blocked womb. Yeah, wow, now that I'm speaking about it, I can kind of feel the karma activating. Wow, this is so glad I can talk about that. Yeah, anyway, yeah, feels like childbirth and childbirth gone wrong. Obviously, with the child getting stuck. Funnily enough, my sister-in-law had all of her 3 children with a cesarean, because it happened to her every single one got stuck in the birth canal. Since we live in the 21st century, she was able to have a cesarean after trying to press my first nephew out for, I don't know, a couple of days, and the doctor said, oh, kid's stuck, we're getting him out the other way. But if you're living in pre-industrial time where medicine wasn't what it is today, even depending on where you are in the world these days, it can still happen. So yeah, kid gets stuck, and at some point the body simply shuts down. There is something, oh, actually I'm feeling my womb now. Whoa. That is, ouch. Yeah, and I'm feeling the emotions of that now. Wow. So and my heart chakra is like, so if I at one point start sobbing uncontrollably, processing karma. Interesting experience. A very interesting experience. Everybody out there who's watching this was just here for, the life cooking, kind of life cooking. It's not thinking, oh my god, what's going on? What's she talking about? Yeah. This is Kitchen Adventures with Joy, where you think you're doing one thing and actually end up doing something else entirely. Just to also exemplifying how everything in your life is a reflection of something in your unconscious, likely. As well as you don't need a special place. You don't need a retreat. You don't need meditation camp or whatever. You can just you can activate and process your karma in the kitchen. And I dropped a bit of apple, sorry. Now, this isn't actually processed. Because I haven't gone all the way in. But I'm holding it. And I will get to that at some point. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Aren't you glad that you tuned in? Oops. One. This is already looking. See, it's always the same thing. It's like it looks like you have a bunch of apples and you think, yeah, that's not a lot, and you chop it up and it's like, okay, yeah, that pan is full. I think this is a different kind of apple from a different tree, but I'm just going to throw everything in into one pot and make applesauce. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that actually really a lot. I'm contemplating if I'm making like plain applesauce or if I'm making applesauce already with spices, because here's the thing, if you make your own applesauce, you can determine what kind of applesauce that you want. You can have like simply plain applesauce with basically no sweetener, or you can make it sweet. You can put spices in, cinnamon, ginger, also works very well. You can have a dash of chili, yeah, just a little bit of bite, a little bit of heat, can be nice. Yeah, you can put basically anything that you want in. Pumpkin spice applesauce, why not? So I'm contemplating whether I want to put spices in or not. I don't think so. I think I just want applesauce, pure, because that way I can always decide afterwards to add to it. But I think I will have some sweetener. I think. Yeah. My stomach is of the opinion that I should already be doing I should be snacking on the apples. No, I'm making food, not snacking. And I had another box yesterday. You might have seen it. Unboxing video. Yeah. It's actually not horseradish, it's just radish. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Very nice. Oops. That was too much energy. Okay. What I'm going to do now, so this lemon looks a bit weird. It's not actually molding. It looks that weird because I took all the skin off. I grated it for something. Yeah, I put that in the fruit salad. Lemon zest in fruit salad. Highly recommended. So now I'm squeezing half a lemon. Oh, but not the pips. No, come on, don't do that. Squeezing half a lemon. I don't usually do that because I'm lazy. I don't usually add lemon juice to this recipe. The original recipe. I mean, this is again my version of the recipe. The original recipe is actually for a kind of fruit compote so you can use just about every fruit that you want. And I really like doing this in spring with rhubarb. Makes excellent compote. But yeah, and then one day I used apples, and then I decided, and then I discovered that you can make applesauce yourself. So, but anyway, I think the original recipe asks for lemon juice, and I rarely ever use lemon juice because, as I said, I'm lazy and I don't always have lemons if I don't get them shipped from Etiquette. But since I have a lot of lemons still, I'm using lemon juice. And for sweetener, I'm using agave syrup because I don't have any maple syrup anymore because it got moldy. First time ever that happened to me. That maple syrup, not the maple syrup itself, but the bottle, which is annoying. Actually, I'm feeling like adding a dash of vanilla. Just a dash. Do I have a spoon? Do I have a spoon? Yeah, I have lots of spoons, but you're standing on them. Sorry. Welcome to the tiny kitchen. Spoon. Yeah, when it comes to vanilla, I think I prefer spoons instead of going, oh, which I usually do. But, oh, wait a minute. I'm discovering. I still have these. Some of these. Flower Power, no. Aladdin's Cafe Gewürz. Aladdin's Coffee Spice Mix. Or Chai Kiss. Or gingerbread seasoning. Gingerbread seasoning. I'm very much afraid that I have to put gingerbread seasoning in the applesauce. Oh dear. Well, the feeling says put gingerbread seasoning in the applesauce, so that was not planned. Okay, let's do it. That means I need scissors, and throw the whole thing in. Whole thing? Let me see. No, actually not the whole thing. Maybe half. Okay, cool. And then stirring it. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so this also happens all the time. I have an idea. And then halfway through, something crosses the inspiration, and I'm going like, maybe I should. Yeah. And then I'm doing this. All right. So this now needs to rest. Like the original recipe says, let it rest for like 10-15 minutes. And then add some water or fruit juice and then cook until it has reached the desired softness. So I'm letting this settle. Hello to part 3. The root veggie dish is cooking. So now we can return to this here. I mean, not that this is going to be any more interesting. There's more to say. So this is what it looks like. Smells very nice. I'm just going to add water because I don't have fruit juice. And here's the thing. It really doesn't need a lot of water. It really doesn't need a lot of water. You think, I mean, you can barely see the water in there. You might think that's not enough water to cook this. Yeah, it actually is. It always surprises me. At the beginning, I used to add too much water, and then the compote what I was making would be too runny. So I don't use a lot of water these days. If it needs more water, I can always add more water later. Yeah. So same thing with this now. Lid on, goes on the stove on, and cook. Yeah. And that's it for this bit. I'll be back once the apples are cooked with a final part of making applesauce. See you in a bit. Hi, hello, welcome to the maybe last part of I'm making applesauce myself. So this is what the apples look like now. They're almost like, oh, where's my spoon? I mean, just give them a good stir. I might not even need to puree them, actually. Okay, cool. Like, okay, I'm stirring them, and they're already looking very saucy. Saucy. But I do think I shall puree them. Okay, transfer into. I don't actually have a mixing bowl because I don't have a electric blender. No, it's not called blender. What's it called? That thing that stirs your dough. Oh, that's too heavy. Oh, this pan is. Yeah, so I actually have that kind of bowl, so I'm using my measuring cup. I'm not sure if it likes hot, almost saucy apples, but we'll see. So, how do I now get the last bits? If I can't hold the pen. Oh, this is so heavy. Oh my god. Oh. Enough. Strength in the wrist. Whew, ouch. Okay. Add some water. I don't know how much. How much do you think we need? I might have said it before, I will say it again. My cousin gave this to me. I'm thinking of her very fondly every time I use it. Because I love this thing. That's the upside to having a see-through container. You can check whether you got everything. It's not quite smooth. So it tastes only mildly of the gingerbread spice. If I want a real gingerbread taste in there. I probably would have needed to use the entire little bag. But I actually like this. It's not very sweet, beyond sweetness from apples, which I also like. Yeah, excellent, excellent. So this is what it looks like, and you can see it's liquidy enough to move. So sauce, yeah, I'm going to fill this now into a different kind of container, a jar of some kind, pop it in the fridge, use it over the next few days. You can I mean, I think you can freeze it. It might be a bit weird texture wise when you defreeze it, and absolutely you can probably also can it, but I have never canned anything before. I wanted to look into that, but I haven't so far, or I have looked into it, but I haven't experimented with this so far, because I have memories of glasses exploding from childhood. So yeah, bit mindful of that. Yeah. Anyway, that was the episode of Joy Makes Applesauce. First up, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about what I did, how I did, the original recipe or anything, drop me a comment. Yeah, that's it for this episode. And if you make it yourself,